the players on the bench. I love sports. Anybody love sports? I'm a Cowboy fan, but because Donna gave me the privilege of being up here today, I will be a Green Bay Packer fan. Thank you, Donna. Let me tell you two things that I know about sports that are a fact. Nobody can deny it. Nobody can change it. Number one, every major sport, baseball, hockey, football, soccer, basketball, every sport has more players on the bench than they ever do on the field. Basketball has 5 guys on the court, maybe 15 to 18 guys on the bench. Football, you've got 11 guys on the field, 45 to 50 guys on the bench. Every sport always has more players on the bench than they ever do on the field. That's a fact. Fact number 2, you will never see a head coach coaching the players on the bench. The head coach coaches the players on the field because the people on the bench don't win the games, the people on the field do. And what do we do most of the time? We kumbaya with the bench. Because it's so much easier to coach the people that we know that aren't doing anything than to go out and find new people and fill up our skillet. And so we just sit there and have a kumbaya. Come on, guys, really, what is it going to take? I mean, we have a trip to this, we're going to GTC. I mean, come on, you've been here for like 3 years. You got to get off the bench. And we're trying to motivate people. I get asked this all the time. Jerry, how do I get? This is a question I always get asked in coaching. I did a Friday message on this. Jerry, how do I get my team to move? How do I get Betty to finish district? How do I get Bob to do what he needs to do? And the answer is not something you're going to like, but the answer is the truth. The answer is, you don't. You can't get people to do what people don't want to do, no matter how badly you want them to do it. And you're wasting your time and your energy thinking that you're good enough to change them. Nobody's good enough. I'm not, Dana's not, Donna cannot change anybody if they're not willing to change. And yet we spend time trying to do it. Oh, I know I can get this person to do it. I know I can. I know I can. And then we get frustrated and we get discouraged and we start complaining about how the business isn't working. No, it's not that the business isn't working. It's that you're not working the business right. The people are on the bench for a reason. They're comfortable. They don't want to get involved in the game, but it's easier to try and manage them than lead people on the field. But let me tell you something. The bench plays an important role in any sporting event. LeBron James needs to take a break. He heads off the field, and one of the players on the bench fills his spot. When LeBron's ready to come in, the bench player goes back to the bench. Somebody gets hurt, can't play, off the bench you go. In sports, the bench plays a very important role. And so does the bench in our bond. Because see, you all have a bench right now. People that are sitting there, loving each other. Isn't this great? Yeah, I know, it's fantastic. Ooh, cancel party for him. Oh, too bad. Oh, man, that was good, huh? Oh, look, that one quit. Oh, thank God we're not doing that. Right? That's the bench. They're just sitting there, relaxing. But there will be a moment of time in your business when, like a phoenix rising up from the ashes, the bench will awaken. And it always happens at a time where you've reached the end of your rope. You're trying to earn a contest. You're trying to earn a trip. You're trying to earn a promotion. And you've run out of every lead you have. You've called everybody you could. Everybody that needs to order has reordered. And you're like, oh man, I'm going to fall short. And so you're calling your team. What do you got? Have you got anything going on? Can you do this? And your team is just out of it. And you're looking at your numbers and you're going, gosh, I'm going to fall short by $800. I can't figure out where to get this. And you're discouraged and you're depressed. And then all of a sudden, it happens. There he is, Bob the benchwarmer. Yes, dear Bob. Bob has been sitting on the bench for months. His legs have atrophied because he hasn't used them. And Bob decides in the most inopportune moment to stretch. And so Bob just, wow. And he's stretching, and the people on the bench are looking at him like, he's standing. And Bob is just stretching around up there, and he's going, He says, well, while I'm up here, I may as well go sell something. And off Bob goes. And Bob goes and sells 2 RE9 sets. And you get home, discouraged, depressed. I can't believe I lost out on my promotion. And you're sitting here lackadaisically getting on web stats just to verify how far you fell. And you get on web stats and you look at it and you go, Bob! Bob! Where did that come from? And you're in shock. So you got to call Bob. Bob, this is Jerry. Hey, how you doing? Fantastic, Bob. I just saw you sold 2 RE9 sets. Well, what happened? Do you notice the shock? You're so shocked. You don't even say congratulations. You say, what happened? And Bob says, well, my family came into town and they needed some anti-aging and I sold them a couple of RE9 sets. And you're like, Bob, that's great. Congratulations. And Bob says, oh, thanks. And then you have that awkward moment because you know this is the last time you're going to hear from Bob for another 6 months. And you sit there and go, well, Bob, thanks a lot, and we hope to see you around. And Bob goes, oh, yeah, it's good to talk to you. And well, take care of yourself. And he hangs up the phone, and Bob walks back to the bench, and the bench celebrates. Bob is back. And they give him a high five, and they do something, and they say, what happened? And Bob says, well, I sold 2 RE9s. What? You did what? And then Fran sitting over here says, well, if you did it, I could do it. I'll just wait for the right moment. And Fran sits on the bench, and the next time you need some miracle, Fran gets off the bench and says, I may as well go sell something. And the bench will come through when you least expect them to, but the bench will never build your business. Come on. You've got to love the people on the bench. Love them. Just don't spend a lot of time with them, because they're not going to win the game for you. Love them. Some of you are sitting here depressed, discouraged. My whole team is on the bench. What do I do now? I'm discouraged. Well, guess what that means? That means it's time to go find some field players. It's time to go fill up your skillet with kernels. See, these little things are what's holding us back from developing that sponsoring mindset of I'm going to be a sponsoring machine in 2016. See, we have got to understand that these are the things we have to let go. We have to stop comparing ourselves to other people. We have to stop caring what other people think of us. We have to stop trying to please everybody. We have to stop spending too much time with too few people. We have to stop managing the players on the bench. And the last thing that we need to do